Okay, folks, well, believe it or not, we've got another generator here. So this is the fourth one that we need to get fixed this winter. So you guys can see that beautiful machine over there. That's just about done. I'm going to shoot a little bit more video on that. So with any, I can't talk. Let's cut this out, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you our brand new generator that we just got a couple days ago. And let's check this out. It's Pincor. I must admit, I've never heard of the company before. It seems like an awfully well-built generator. It is amazingly heavy. So this is a 7-horse, 3,000 watt. If you can see the tag there. So yeah, right there. It's 3,000 watt. And it's, let's see, yeah, it's a Briggs & Horse. Now this seems to be a little bit nicer engine, quite a bit nicer than on our Coleman. You know, everything is basically the same, except it's got an actual kill switch instead of, you know, a ground strap to shut it down. And it's also got an oil guard. That is amazing. Honestly, I didn't know they made anything like that back then. So here, down here, you can see there's a sensor. It comes up and so it's going to throw a light here, and then it's going to go along to wherever. I'm not sure what that does or how that works, but let's see. One thing I wanted to show you guys, if you wondered what year your generator, or you know, whatever your small engine may be, whatever the application, if you go to the code here, if you can see that says code there, the first two numbers are going to be the year of manufacture of the engine. So this is an 86. Yeah, all right. So I don't know anything about the machine. Real nice guy I picked it up from. Maybe I might have paid a smidgen too much for it, but I don't think it's got a lot of hours on it. It's I think it's been sitting leaking. I'm sure gaskets are bad and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, it's a pretty nice looking machine. Now down here I see we've got a bit of a problem. The ground strap is gone because unlike on our Coleman, this is rubber isolated, which is quite nice. But so right here you can see that used to be attached here, so that'll have to be fixed. I'll probably just use a modern rubber coated copper cable. So little bit of paint damage on the generator itself from fuel leaking. So but that's not a big deal. And of course there's no rust in our plastic tank. And how nice, it's got like a boat fuel tank gauge on it. That's really nice. I like that a lot, instead of just a small engine mounted tank. So all right, well, we'll get to work on this here before you know it. And I just wanted to get a start and introduce you guys to this beautiful piece of equipment we've got. I don't know anything about it. The owner stated that it needed a fluid change, clean the, you know, I'm sorry, he said it needed an oil change, and then clean the tank, the carb, and a new fuel line should be good to go. So we will, before you know it, we'll find out whether that is true or not. And I think I will clean this up. And it, you know, it's nice. You can see how they did the chassis here. Really pretty nice. So you know, it can move quite a lot, and it doesn't, you know, it's not going to shake across the floor, you know, seeing as it's just a pipe chassis, no rubber tires or whatever. So rubber feet, whatnot. So okay, well, we'll get to work on this before you know it, and maybe we'll get that carburetor off yet tonight and get that in the ultrasonic cleaner. That would be nice to get that cleaned up and done. So all right, we'll be back. All right, so we're gonna get a little bit of a start anyway on this 86 Pincor generator. First thing I want to do is lose the muffler. Oh wow, that was incredibly loose. Oh wow, all right. Well, that's fine by me. I guess I'd just as soon not fight with it. And now, let's see if we can get a good look inside of that engine. I might need to go, yeah. Just hold on, I'm gonna go find a flashlight. Okay, so we can get a pretty good idea of, you know, how much the engine's been used by the carbon that we see in here. And I mean, there's very little. I mean, it doesn't take very much running to, I mean, like literally 2 tanks of fuel, and you could easily have that amount of buildup. So I don't think we really have much of an issue there. Well, that's good. That's certainly a good sign. All right. Let's then take a look at the air filter. That'll be another indicator of how many miles this bad boy's got on it. And looking at that, I'm gonna guess, unless it was run in very dusty conditions, I'm gonna guess that the air filter looks awfully good. Kinda rusty getting the wing nut off, but not too bad. All right. Well, let's see, the inside of that's pretty good. Got a little cobweb or dead bug or whatever, but pretty clean. Pretty clean. All right, let's get the second wing nut off. Okay, got that off. So, yeah, everything looks pretty clean. Wow, that filter is, and that is actually a Briggs & Stratton. If you can see that little emblem right there, this is a Briggs & Stratton branded air filter. So it's kind of right there. It's a little bit dirty, but otherwise, it's really not bad. There's a dead spider there from the 1980s, probably. Nice. I'd venture to say I'd blow that out and go ahead and reuse it. I don't really see anything wrong with it. So, all right. Now, let's see, I'll find a couple tools. I should have already had them here, but, you know. So, this, I don't know, did it come from the factory with this foam? It's kind of deteriorated, but excellent, you know, protection against abrasion. I've never actually seen anything done like that. Well, sure, it's got to be factory because there's the factory orange paint still on the fuel line. So I mean, maybe somebody came along and did that after the fact, but I don't know. Hard to say. I suppose a guy could research that, but you know what? Let's oh, this is just crazy. But let's go ahead and thread this back in because it does so much good, as we know. And let's just see if this would pop off with a little starting fluid. Well, let's not. Let's not. Not until we check the oil. Now I want to read on this. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say on crankcase oil. So they got summer and winter ratings. So for winter is 5W30. Check oil level regularly. Fill to the full mark on the dipstick. All right. That means there must be a dipstick. And there's your dipstick. So let's see. Do not overfill when equipped with oil plug. Fill to overflowing. Okay. Fill to overflowing. Let's see. Let's find our flashlight and let's take a peek at that. Okay, it's a whole lot of low. It's like really low, but there is oil. Yeah. Okay. Well, and it looks really good. It's really clear. It's a little bit low, so I'm not going to worry about that. Not a big deal. So we'll find some starting fluid here in a second, and we'll go ahead and see if this might by chance pop off. All right, I found myself some of this great stuff. So let's see. Yeah, okay. So the switch is already to on. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Whoa! Yeah, we'll want to put that plug back in. That oil comes flinging out of there. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but yeah, just one tiny pull on the recoil and all that oil came out. So, you know, yeah, it is a little bit icky. So yeah, we'll definitely change that. All right, well, let's go ahead and doesn't look like it. Okay, well, that's all right. Who knows if the switch is even working? It feels really, kind of like there might be some corrosion in there. Doesn't really feel too great. Interesting, though. Let me move the camera over here. Now, you guys keep an eye on the oil light right there while I pull on that. Can you guys see that? Let me zoom in just a little. So, I know we're making power. I'm guessing that carburetor is extra dirty. So, well, let's get this spark plug out. Give me a moment. Okay, so I have completely lost my spark plug socket. Don't know where it went, so I just got a standard 19. Okay, let's get a good look at that guy. Yeah, it's kind of carboned up, not too bad really. I mean, it's almost a chocolatey on the end of the ground strap. So it's really not too bad. It's I don't know if I've got anywhere good to get that guy, but let's see. Yeah, you guys hopefully can see that. All right, let's see what happens. That's kind of what I thought. No spark. So, all right. Well, that's something we'll have to look into, and we'll figure it out. I'm sure most likely it's just a matter of cleaning. So we'll probably end up taking the side cover off there and clean the points, adjust the points, and we should have a good running motor, because I definitely don't see any signs that this has got a lot of miles on it. Or hours, of course, I mean. So, all right, well, thank you, folks. I'll be back. All right, so here we are with our 1986 Pincor 7-horse, 3,000 watt generator. We have no spark, and the switch here, the on-off switch, it just doesn't feel, it's kind of crunchy feeling. So we're gonna go ahead, well, maybe I don't need to take that out. Let's switch to an 11 millimeter and get, yeah, I don't need to take those head bolts out. All right. Let's see here. What else do I need to take out to get that off? Not sure. This is kind of a new one for me, so all right, yeah, I see a couple bolts down low here, way down underneath. I don't know if you can see that. There's a couple down, way down here. So get those out of there.
Woohoo! I've got the computer fired up. I've got my databases fired up, and I'm ready to dump video into them.
All right, camera's rolling. Guys, you can't help us, or, you know, I mean, we gotta be excited, right? We can't help it. I hope you're excited with us. We're making...
Sorry guys, I just got carried away with editing video for you people.
Heck yeah, it's great. It's good stuff, good times. All right, got one more down here. We'll get that out. And then we'll see if we can't get this recoil cover off. Let's see if there's been any critters living in there. I can't wait to hear this machine fire up. Now will you come on? All right, let's see here. So I'll bring the camera around over here so you guys can get a view of what I got here. So right here is the wiring harness for the oil level warning light, and it also will shut down the engine, as I understand. All right, so we'll just unplug that, and then the recoil will come off, except for the wiring here for the on-off switch. Let's see, what do we do with that? Where is that going? So let's see, you guys can see that wire is going back there behind the coil. Let me see what I can do with that. Okay, that goes right to the back of the coil. Okay, that unplugs from there, and then that will pull out from behind there. Okay, and then there's yet another wire. Okay, so anyway, what I'm here to look at is the on-off switch, because it feels really icky, like almost like there's maybe dirt in it. Let's see here. So yeah, you guys can kind of get a look at how that moves. I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do with that. I might have to investigate that a little bit. You know, as I'm using it here, it's feeling better and better. Let me get some WD, and I'll get that sprayed in there, and we'll see if that does anything good for us. I don't know. Now the flywheel is, you know what? That's most likely our problem right there. So look how rusty that is right there. That's not going to generate any spark. So pretty sure we just found the problem right there. All right, well, we'll get to it and we'll get it fixed. All right, so we're gonna, spider webs, lots of them. Let's get a little WD in this switch here and see if we can't make that a little happier. I don't know, I guess that feels better. It doesn't any longer feel like there's, like, you know, dirt in it, so that's a good start. All right, now we need to clean up the flywheel, and I need something better than just a wire brush, I think. Yeah, it's really rusty. Let me see what I can find. I'll be right back. All right, so I've got myself a little wire brush here, so yeah. I don't know if you guys could see all the dust flying or the rust flying, but really making a nice difference. Well, if we don't have spark after this, maybe it's a broken wire, bad coil, bad spark plug, who knows. A lot of this doesn't need to be cleaned, you know, like what I'm doing right here, but I'm going to clean it anyway, so. Get all that rust out of there. Okay, so now you guys see that little hole drilled there? If not, I'll try to get you zoomed in on that. Let's see here. Yeah. Right there. Okay, so that right there, that hole is drilled from the factory, of course, because this side of the flywheel was heavy. So they removed, you know, probably like 7 grams or whatever of weight to make sure that this was nice and balanced. So that's the reason that hole is there. And there's another one, and that one's much deeper, so they took a lot more weight out there. Okay, all right, that really looks great. Looks a whole lot better. Let's revisit the switch now. Yeah, that feels pretty nice. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this wire run back and get it put back on the coil. And we're gonna see if we got spark. Yeah, I might need I'm gonna need to go find a needle nose pliers. It's pretty hard to get back to the back side of the coil there. Let me move the camera here so you guys can see. All right. So right back there, you can see the wire right there. So right here is the wire, but it needs to hook up right down there. It's in shadow, so you can't quite see it. All right, let me go get a pliers and I'll get that put together. All right, so this is another really great instance to go ahead and break out the dielectric grease. So we're gonna pull this wire back out, get a little bit of grease in there. All right, doesn't take much. All right. Now, let's see if I can't grab a hold of that. That's a tough one to get to. Yeah, well, gosh, how do I get to that? I'm sorry, I can hardly get to it, much less get the camera on it, but yeah, that's a tough one there, hey. Whew, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna get that on there. I can't get to it really at all. Darn. Wow, yeah, that's a real tough one. Yeah, I don't know. That is just a real booger to get on. I'm so close, but it's not happening. No. darn it. Well, bear with me. I might, maybe, possibly. I think it's on there. Oh boy, that's a tough one to get to. So yeah, that wire right there is so hard to get on because there's just no room to get a hold of it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this all put back together, and we'll see if we've got spark. So want to make sure you don't pinch the spark plug wire, because if you do, then, well, you got trouble. Okay. All right. So that's together. We'll go ahead and plug the oil sensor wire back together. Let's get our cap back on our dielectric grease and get that out of the way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run 2 bolts back in the top here to hold things together. I don't think I'll worry about the ones on the bottom just yet. Let's tighten these up. All right, so now we want to see if we've got some kind of spark action going on here. It's always a challenge to try to find ground while you're trying to check to see if you got spark, but it's here we are. All right. I'm gonna hold it with the pliers. Try to hold it where I've got ground. The switch is to the on position. And I've got nothing. All right. Well, that's all right. I don't know what kind of, I bet this doesn't thread off. No, it doesn't. All right. Let's see. Let's put a different spark plug in it. Here we've got a NGK IR, let's see, it's a IFR5L11. Let's see what that guy does. But first, we're going to put some grease on that. Seeing as I can't take the boot off and try to, check the wire, because I'm starting to kind of worry that maybe we don't have a good coil here. The rust I see on the flywheel makes me wonder if this may have been left outside. All right. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can pretty well see that spark plug. All right, let's see. Now do we have spark? We do not. But I know we're creating electricity because there's light on the oil light. So I know we're I know we're making electricity. So I'm not worried about the flywheel and all of that, but I am starting to worry that maybe we got a bad coil. Well, let's see, what do we do? I would think that would be, boy, you know what, the spark plug just like fell out of there. It's not gripping the, how do we get this off of there? I don't know that we can. Yeah. No spark. All right, well, So, I don't know if I showed this to you guys, but let's take a real close look right there at that oil light. And let's see what we see there. So, yeah, we know we're making electricity here. I just can't seem to get it to the spark plug. All right, and that, let's see. I wonder, let me show this to you folks. I think I might have found the problem. Let's see what we can do here. So, when you get, let's see, where am I here? Right there. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now the wire that goes from the on-off switch up here, that it's conjoined. There's two wires. One of them comes down to here, and the other one, okay, so there's two wires here. One goes around the back side of the motor and is part of the circuit that hooks up to the oil light. The other one is right here, and that goes up to the back side of the coil, and it's conjoined with the wire that comes from the on-off switch. All right, well, look at this. That's not tight. Can you guys, let me see. Can you guys see that right there? There's the nut right there. That's not tight at all. All right, so let's, I don't know what tools I need to try to get to that, but I think most likely what we've got here is a bad ground. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna get you guys so you can see that better. Let's see. All right, so this is what we're working on right here. This is like really loose. So let's go ahead and pull that off of there. You know, because if that's not working, then we don't have a complete circuit, I suppose. So let's All right, so what we've got here is a stud going through a plastic isolator. Everything seems clean. I don't see anything wrong with this connection. So there you guys can see that's you know, it's like a square piece of brass or whatever going through a plastic bushing. So what I'm gonna do is, you guessed it, let's get a little bit of dielectric grease on there. And yeah, all right, so let's go ahead and go ahead and get that on there. Now, it's kind of strange when I took that off, the star washer here. Gosh, now I dropped it. That's awesome. All right, well, I'm gonna have to find a new one. I don't know where, oh, here it is, okay. All right, I gotta zoom out. All right, so there's this little star washer that's meant to kind of dig into the metal a little bit and help you get a good bite. That was put on before the wire, and that seems backwards to me. So I'm gonna put that on after the wire, and then I'll put the nut on, and the nut will kind of help that washer dig into the wire, the eyelet on the wire. So let's get that on there, and see if we can't get that tightened up. I don't know. Well, let's see if we've got spark now. I kind of don't think we're going to. I thought maybe we found the problem, but I don't think that we did. I don't know. All right, so we gotta look at that spark plug. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I thought we might be on to something there, but it doesn't really look that way. Well, golly. That made sense that would be the problem, but it's good and tight now, so I know that's a good, secure, solid wiring connection, but kind of making me think maybe it's the switch here. I guess I'm gonna have to scratch my head on this one. Kind of seems like maybe we need a new coil. That's a bummer. I don't have another one I could test with, but all right, well, I guess I'm gonna call it a day, folks, and we'll get to this another day. Pretty quick here. We'll get the ultrasonic cleaner going and get the carburetor dismantled, and we'll get that taken apart, get all the O-rings replaced, because I know it needs a new O-ring down here, and I know for sure this O-ring in here is almost for certain no good. Anyway, and I really got to say, the exhaust pointed directly at the fuel tank is not a great idea. Not really. So that could be easily resolved. I believe maybe these 4 bolts could come out and rotate this baffle and shoot it anywhere else other than directly at the fuel tank. But anyway, it's been a long day, gonna call it. So we'll be back and we'll get this little machine running really well before you know it. So all right, thank you much. Bye.